Hello there, and welcome back to Let's Love Star Wars, the purely positive Star Wars review show here on the Picture. Not picture. That's not the opening night trivia. I literally, by the way, do you know what's funny? I do so many shows now that I am often very worried about getting the intros confused.
Hmm,
And
that
now it's
just
happened.
happened. It
It
just
just
yeah,
happened.
it just
So
happened.
I guess we're just moving the show now.
Even
I have
though
the authority to do that.
picture this is still in open night trivia, right? Or do you guys have like your own channel?
I don't know anymore. So many shows. By the way, David, how you doing, man?
Good.
It's just okay. Here's the thing: we start these projects, and
Yep.
then we're like, "This will be a funny thing to do," and then we get like 10 weeks in or whatever, and we're like,
Hey, I still love doing this. I still have
"Okay,
like
no, I'm
I
just
think
checking in."
you have confessed to me that this is the show that you actually enjoy doing. That you don't really go like, ugh, I have to record Lost Love Star Wars now.
No, I mean this is like a.
I mean, we record the thing that we record like two every like 3 months kind of helps
I
because
think that's true. I also think that part of it is that I know I like these movies ahead of time, whereas like when we do a show with like blind watching movies, I've seen all these movies ahead of time. I know. I don't really have to rewatch them. I maybe have to listen to the score a little bit, but like I don't really have to. I didn't really have to rewatch Rogue One to be like, anyway, here's my list of thoughts.
I
Make use
didn't,
of
I
it.
didn't, I didn't rewatch a lot of the movies for this specifically. But I mean, I'm a Star Wars
Garcia
like.
over here.
I mean,
Big brain Garcia over here. Anyway, that's David. I'm Alex. Welcome to this show where
so I
we
just,
talk
I
about Star
just
Wars.
said, I just said you didn't go like, I have to go, and then you went like,
I know. I
you,
did it specifically because
to mess with me. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, we're back to talk about one of. Okay.
The weird
One
cousins
of the
of.
most misunderstood entries in the Star Wars. You seem so confused right now. One of the most. Well, how would you describe it?
I think this is like the
Maligned?
Last Jedi. I think this is the last, like the
Yeah,
Last Jedi. It has no middle ground. Either it's people's favorite Star Wars movie or they hate it. It's
sure.
just.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I am in the middle ground of this movie.
You just said though that there was no middle.
Yeah,
Which one is it, Christine? Which one
but
is it?
but I am a really weird Star Wars fan.
That's also true of me. Um,
True.
Rouge One, Rogue One.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
Hmm.
Rogue One.
It was the first non-Star. Well,
Eh,
does the Clone Wars count as a Skywalker saga movie? It does, right?
let's just say it does
Okay,
for fun.
so it was the first non-Skywalker saga movie we got with
Yeah,
characters we didn't know. I
sure.
think it is the first Star Wars movie to not involve the Skywalker,
Yes,
which
that's
is
yes. Let's yes. It is the story of. It's actually really weird if you watch it in the order that it supposedly happens. It is the story of my dear friend Manny Bothans, and
no, you are confusing. The many Wothans were for the other Death Star.
beans. Um, it is the story of the death.
Many
A
times.
complete. By the way, it is the story of a completely inconsequential line
Yeah.
in Star Wars. It doesn't. They got the plans.
Mhm.
Intelligence suggests.
Yep.
That's all. That's all the line was. We believe they can blow up the planet.
I mean,
And
dude,
they made a movie about it. And that movie
you.
was Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
I mean, that's not new for Star Wars, though. You fought in
Nope.
the Clone Wars? Yep. Here, here. Clone
You
Wars.
fought in the Clone Wars? Which,
Oh,
to be fair, okay, here's the thing. The Clone Wars sounds more dramatic than our intelligence suggests. We found out that they have a planet killer, we think. That doesn't sound as dramatic as, oh, you served, oh, you were in the Clone Wars? That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that about you. Old guy. I mean, yeah, sure. I love that. Um, yeah. Rogue One is
Bothan's Star Wars Story coming in 2026.
So I would watch it. It's just a guy. It's Manny Bothans. My poor Manny Bothans. Rankings. We should probably start with the rankings.
Yes, let's go with the rankings. I have it at my number 9.
Number 9. Okay, let's see. So it's like kind of in the middle of the pack for you.
Yeah, it's lower than Solo.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up our good friend Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is the movie that probably flips the most in my rankings.
Mhm.
And I think it's finally settled on being my 6.
Okay.
It's
pretty high.
My 6. Yeah, this is my halfway point of Star Wars. But it really does flip with Solo a lot, just depending on like, am I feeling somber or am I feeling jokey today?
Yeah.
And I think in general most days I feel very somber. So Solo is like a nice change of pace.
Mhm.
You know, just like Liar's Dice the movie. I really like that. I really like Solo a lot. But Rogue One occupies like a really interesting space in Star Wars universe for me. Do our fans
like it?
Like it?
Let's see.
I was gonna say love it, but no.
Yeah.
We love it. Probably.
Well, okay. Rogue One.
Rouge One.
It has some votes.
Oh.
Actually, it has 14 votes, which is
It's good.
a decent amount.
We gave everyone like 3 votes, I reckon.
Yeah, it's tied with.
Like a year ago. I don't remember.
It's actually tied with Revenge of the Sith in the rankings.
Completely wrong, but okay, cool.
Right. So would you have? It's the middle, yeah, because I think it's like okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 actually. Yeah, right.
Oh, I agree with our fans for once.
It's tied in the 6th with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So for our devoted fans who we love so much.
Oh yeah.
We love so much.
If there is somebody who is devoted, we love you.
Yeah. Sure. This occupies like a really interesting space. But it is still kind of just like I like that. It's not. It's probably very few people's favorite.
To be completely honest, it has one of my favorite ending segments, third acts of the entire Star Wars saga.
Sure.
So I am always pumped to watch A New Hope after I watch Rogue One.
Well, something has to get you pumped to watch New Hope. I'll say that. Something has to get you motivated to watch that.
Anyway.
I don't know. That's probably enough for the rankings. We don't really.
Yeah, go ahead, do the thing.
Well, what did we give? Is this a first time appearance?
I think so. Yeah.
What are we gonna give?
I know, but it has to be big, especially if we are going to continue doing these things.
Right, because it's like a fairly significant composer. I guess we're gonna go to the Michael Giacchino couch.
I mean, we have 4 corners. We can give the 4 corners to Giacchino, Zimmer, Lucas, and the Williams and
great composer George Lucas. That's your mess. That's your mess up in the intro.
Who would you say it's like the 4th big composer?
You know what? That's fair. Michael Giacchino, he's actually like one of. I look at my Letterboxd. I'm a patron on Letterboxd, and Michael Giacchino is a significant portion of my movie watching. Like he's one of my most watched composers.
Yeah.
So yeah, Giacchino, we respect you so much. This is actually true. I at least for my part, I don't know how David.
Yeah, I do. I really like Giacchino.
we respect you so much. We're going to give you the honor that we have only really reserved for John Williams at this point in time. We're going to go now to the Michael Giacchino corner.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Giacchino looks like?
Apparently.
Wow. That is not a good look.
I know who the fourth corner is, especially because it says it's going to be Howard Shore.
Okay. Sure.
There is 6 movies that we are going to talk about exclusively Howard Shore.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, so Michael Giacchino is an accomplished composer, a fantastic one, in fact. Actually, what?
I used to say that Giacchino is the best composer to make soundtracks that sound like other composers.
I don't know that I agree with that. Because my point was going to be, he looked at the works of John Williams for the purposes of Rogue One. He looked at the works of John Williams and went, I'm gonna do my own thing. Because you could not confuse the score of John Williams for the score.
No, but it still sounds like Star Wars.
No, he understood the assignment. I don't mean that like he opted out and was like jazz flutes. Like, do you remember Kevin Kiner's score for Clone Wars, where we went?
I don't know, man. We did it so long ago. I can't.
Yeah, it was so long ago. We re-wore the same outfits. No, but do you remember when we went to like Zero the Hutt's like bar, and it was just all of a sudden jazz flutes, and we're like, it's like 3 whole scenes in the movie that take place with like jazz flutes in the background. Michael Giacchino understood, like, all right, I'm going to keep this in the same area.
Yeah, but the thing is, he also made Star Trek, and it sounds Star Trek-y.
Yeah. He keeps it in the same genre, but he doesn't, like, you could not confuse John Williams' orchestra or Michael Giacchino's. Like, you couldn't confuse it. It's 2 distinct composers, which... you either like it or you don't, but I think Michael Giacchino is a very good composer.
Oh yeah, he's great. Dun, 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 dun.
But like, even if you just go, okay, that's only so many notes, you get the most out of those notes. I've heard this as like a criticism of a score for the Batman. It's only like this many notes. Yeah, but those notes like mean everything. At like in the scenes that they play in.
Yeah, I mean, I think Michael Giacchino is going to be, if not is, one of the greatest composers of like the last 20 years.
I would say 20 years is probably pretty good. Yeah, his work with Pixar. I think his work in
now that the old guys are starting to like retire.
Now that John Williams will be dead soon. Oh my God.
Look,
do you have a favorite song?
Is he like
from this?
John Williams is like 90 and he's retired already. He's going to die soon.
It is the position of this half of the screen that I don't want John Williams to die. And
I don't want John Williams to die, and I will be devastated. But dude, we have like 20 years at most of Mark Hamill, and I will cry when that happens. But
do you have a favorite song from this score? At the end of this show, I do want to think about I don't know how long this episode's gonna be. I think we have like wild thoughts on this movie, but at the end of this episode, I do want this one to go along and go, what do you think's gonna happen when Spielberg dies? Like, what is that gonna look like? How does
anyway? Yes, I do. I really like Krennic's theme.
Okay, sure. Tell us about Krennic.
I don't have a lot to say about it. It's just different enough from Kylo Ren's theme, the Imperial March, but it is really intimidating. And I love my intimidating bad guy themes, even though he himself is not that intimidating. He's actually like, and I really like that about him, that his presentation, everything with the white, and uh, there aren't a lot of Imperials that were white. The
Yeah.
Up until that point, the only Imperial that I knew that were white was the fucking Grand Admiral. So he wore white. He was like the chief engineer of weaponry research development, whatever fuck.
Yeah.
And he looks intimidating. He kills Lyra in his first appearance, or he gets Lyra killed.
Yeah, he gets Lyra killed.
But then we discover that that's all facade. He is struggling to get recognition from his work, and he gets screwed over basically. So
yeah, I think that I just when you talk about it, I go and I like play it just to like refresh.
Yeah.
Krennic's theme is more aspirational than like the villain. Like he has all of the like the Imperial like themes, like you know, whatever. But like his is way more like his has more in it. Like it's almost like like the theme thinks he's a bigger bad guy than he is.
Yep.
Which is like a really interesting take for it's like an interesting decision to like make to make the music more complicated, makes it seem like there's like, but we're never gonna see this guy again is the thing. Like this guy is gonna be here for this one movie. It'll be played by Ben Mendelsohn, and we'll be done with directing forever. But the music, yeah, I agree. It very much suits him. Like a Vader, like a Kylo Ren. It does like actually suit him and his pathos. Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I also don't have much to say about Krennic in general. Like, he's interesting, but in a boring way. He's interesting in like a middle management kind of a guy, in like a bureaucracy kind of a way.
Yeah,
it's not fun to talk about. Yeah, Krennic's theme is good. I went with. I'm back to being in other episodes. Sometimes I'm you. I'm back to being me. I went with Your Father Would Be Proud of You. It is for the folks at home. It is the song that plays when they blow up Scarif. It is a lovely montage.
We are talking a lot about death in this episode.
Well, this is the one to do it in. It is the kind of montage music of Scarif's destruction. It is the song that plays, you know, that crescendos when Cassian and Jyn like hug it out and in their like final moments. And yeah, it's a really on paper it sounds kind of like a bummer moment, and it is kind of a bummer moment, but it's also like a vaguely successful song in the sense of like this is a heroic moment.
It's victory,
but it is a tragic victory.
Yeah.
For an other honk. I could have ignored it. It is a tragic victory.
I muted myself, so you don't have to stop talking.
Yeah, it is a tragic victory for an otherwise like struggling organization. Like a huge victory. But unfortunately, it comes at the cost of life.
So sorry, you are talking about that, and I you going honk. Like that time in fandom that came through, and it scared shit. I'm scared Steam shitless.
Heroic. It's a very like Pyrrhic victory for them.
Yeah, so sad. Very sad.
Sad. Very sad. Honk. We can't do this show anymore.
Oh, okay.
Next one up.
I agree. Actually, yeah, it's. I think the music in that, it's. I don't think I can add anything to what you said. It's a weird mix between sad because people are dying, but it's heroic and maybe even inspirational of like this is a sacrifice, a heroic sacrifice that people are making after achieving an objective that seemed impossible. So yeah. Uh,
Next.
anyway, let's go to the battles.
Mm.
Alex, do you have a favorite battle?
Can one of us just? We didn't talk about this ahead of time. Can one of us say the Battle of Scarif and the other one say Vader? Can I say Scarif and then you say Vader?
Sure.
Okay. So the Battle of Scarif, is great, and I picked Scarif for me specifically. I gave him the choice, but I knew which one he would choose, so I gave myself the one that I wanted. The Battle of Scarif, I think, is what
I think it's one
Star
of the
Wars needed,
Mhm.
and people don't appreciate it enough. I talk and rage forever about kind of how simple a lot of Star Wars is from a like strategic standpoint. It's they're here, we arrive, we either win or we don't, and then one or both of us leave. Um, which is not really how war happens. Like, Scarif is a really fun ambush.
Yeah.
It's a really fun misdirect. It's a really fun spy mission. It's all of these things layered on top of one another.
It's the Star Wars version of when in the Kingsman when they are trying to get the secret information from one trench to another. It's just
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This
It's-
it's there's a time crunch on it.
Yeah.
There's like there's limited resources, a time crunch. There's a sky battle, there's a land battle. You only brought so many people with you. You have to like try and navigate it. Everyone is doing the most that they possibly could. It is so well shot. It is
Yeah.
so dynamic. This movie actually is like really, really, really pretty. And they like they actually blow stuff up.
yeah,
And I know that that's like I'm not actually someone that cares about action sequences, but if you're gonna do an action sequence, blow
you
something up.
you like it to be
Yeah,
practical.
make it impressive. Like I have wasted my years away watching boring comic book movies. Please make it exciting. Please don't be. Please make it look interesting, and or if you like make it look good. If you can't make it look good, make it look interesting. If you can't make it look interesting, make it look weird.
we have talked about. Well, we will
At some
talk
point,
at some point.
future
yeah.
David and I will talk about.
We will talk about a lot about practicality of effects and how you feel like you can touch it and you feel like the explosions and the things are there.
Yeah, if something blows up and then the person who sees it reacting to it, their hair moves, then I feel like that happened. But there were also things that like, oh, that didn't
That's
like,
not there.
that's not those two effects. Those two people never met. Those like a dog's purpose. The dog and the cougar. They never met. That cougar doesn't exist. It's an effect that it's not real. Game of Thrones and the dragon. There's not like that's
Yeah.
like a thing that they put there. That dragon is not like that dragon. When Kid Harry or when the guy that plays Jon Snow looks up, he's like looking up at just nothing. He's like looking up at a tennis ball. He's just like, thanks. Please don't eat me. Yeah, I love the practicality of this movie. Just making dudes run toward an objective and then going, yeah. I like when things go boom.
And I like about the Battle of Scarif, I just like the sense of overwhelming inferiority of the rebellion.
Oh, sure.
Like the Empire is going to kill them all sooner or later. Like they are pinned down. They are trapped. The Empire has so many resources. Yeah, sure, they were a little scattered when you started tricking them, but the moment they got that shit together, they sent in the AT-ATs, and they
Yeah.
just that moment when Base takes the bazooka, shoots at the AT-AT, and he goes like, "What did you just do?" It's
Ow.
like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're all going to die.
Yeah.
And I think that gives more meaning to the victory of Yavin 4
Sure.
because it's the same situation. Like they are overwhelmingly like outnumbered and outgunned.
Yeah.
But
No, like to them,
but
at least at the start of this, like no one's coming to help.
yeah, no.
They like they're going in, going, we're gonna get in and try and get out as fast as we can. We're gonna try
Mhm.
and do this, but like no one's coming to help. They think like it's pure like it's like a pure act of defiance that anybody came to like help. Just
Mhm.
one guy thought like, that sounds impressive. Let's go. That sounds like a fun fight. Yeah, there's like an overwhelming sense of futility
Yeah.
that actually makes like it very dramatic. Because I think sometimes we look for action sequences to be dramatic because they're happening, but action sequences have to be written that way.
Yeah.
It's like any two people can start punching each other and it'll be who's gonna win. But like actually having stakes, you have to like build that into your you have to build that in. Like it's much more interesting if one guy's fighting off 20 people. Like two people fighting each other, okay, yeah, sure, that's interesting. One guy fighting off 20 people, that's way more interesting. How's he doing
Yeah.
that? It has to be, it's inherently more dramatic. Yeah, I love Scarab.
Yeah.
David, tell us about the
Well,
album.
actually, I want to talk a little more about. Well, we can leave it to the. Yeah, let's
Well,
leave it.
we have. I Scarif we can talk about for a while.
Yeah, we'll talk about stuff. I love the Vader hallway scene.
Yeah.
Like, it's so great. First of all, because it starts with, I mean, that whole thing, that whole sequence is Anakin Skywalker being Anakin Skywalker.
So dramatic.
He's so extra
so
for
extra.
everything.
He turns
He
off
goes-
his life support.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He is just, you know what? It's going to look cool. I will have to hold my breath, but it's going to look fucking cool. I'm going to scare these rebels shitless.
So useless.
And then he uses the force to move his cape in space. Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, he's just so extra for everything. There is a scene in Rebels where he shows up surfing a TIE fighter on top of that
That's
TIE
funny.
fighter. He has to be using the force to remotely control that ship just so he can make a dramatic entrance.
I mean, there's something to be said about making a dramatic entrance. I really appreciate his commitment to the bit of like,
Yeah.
no lights, just vague smoke. Showtime. And then it's like he knows that the music is playing behind him. Like in his head, his music is playing behind him.
Yeah. He's like, churn, 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 churn. He's probably humming it to himself. Like,
yeah.
because as we established in Solo, that music is canon.
Yeah.
It exists in
It
the
exists.
universe.
100%.
And Darth Vader 100% adopted as his.
Yeah,
As
he
classic.
definitely thinks about it
Mhm.
as his personal music. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Also, like, just the fear of the rebels, like, just being slaughtered. Also, I also have to say, if Darth Vader ran a little, he probably could
Probably could
have.
have caught it.
Yeah.
Probably could have caught it.
Mhm.
Didn't really
Yeah.
try though. Yeah,
But it
I
is
think this
the-
again. I think this is him being dramatic. Like,
Mhm. He's
Like
like,
at
you
some
know,
point, he got tired of deflecting all the blasters, so he's like, nah. Mine.
yeah, yeah.
Put the guy on the ceiling, chops the guy down. Oh right, this guy. Like drops him. Yeah, yeah. Vader's
so-
so extra.
He's
And
so
then like,
extra.
and then the final shot of him, it's like,
Yeah.
and he's just like looking out, and you're like, isn't he in space right now? How does this work? And
He's
like,
supposed.
like,
I mean, his mask is supposed to have space support, but the
Oh.
cape, man, the cape,
no chance.
the cape. Just
doing that
he's using the Force clearly to move his cape and look cool.
Yeah. He.
He's-
Do you think Vader was just bored that day? It's like, huh, I got it.
Probably.
Like, he's like, huh. like, do you think he has paperwork that he has to file? And so, like, if he's out in the field, he doesn't. So he's just like, let him get away. Like, no, I guess I got away. I just gotta keep chasing him.
And then they go like, I don't know what you're talking about. What? Dude, I just saw you. I chased you.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one's gonna. Yeah, no one's going to like say rat out Vader. I think
Yeah.
Vader totally could have caught him if he just
Yeah. Run. He could just use the Force and yank the thing out of. Yeah. He didn't
Just
want
get
to.
choked out. They don't want
He just wanted to kill people that day,
Yeah.
I guess.
that. What happened?
It's so great. It's so great. It was so great.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in theaters and being like,
Yeah, it was.
oh!
Honestly, I went out of the theater going, this is the best Star Wars fucking movie ever made. And then I watched it again. I was like, okay, maybe I was.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So it's pretty good. We're at 30 minutes in. We really like those two battle scenes.
Yeah.
Let's get started. Okay. I'm pulling up my notes. So
Mhm.
this and The Last Jedi have we're gonna talk about it.
Ooh.
Oh, all you Last Jedi haters, leave this video now because I'm gonna call you an idiot. In 3, 2. Yeah, this and The Last Jedi have kind of, in my opinion, it's not the entire problem. Some people think this movie is like badly edited. I disagree. It's differently edited than a lot of other Star Wars movies. But what I'll say is that this and The Last Jedi have a different level of complexity.
Yeah.
Just like emotionally. A lot of Star Wars
And
is
morally.
and morally. A lot of Star Wars is feel good. It's like very like it's based on like pulp and cereals. And you're supposed to leave it at the end. They go, yeah, we blew up the enemy thing. But this one is like very emotionally complicated.
Mhm.
We got the thing we wanted, but oh no, everyone died. And I think that's
It's like a very Saving Private Ryan feel.
yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, we saved the one guy, but everyone else is dead. That's unfortunate. We got him, but like,
Ugh.
ugh. And I think that really does land poorly on some people that wanted I wanted to blow up the thing.
I mean,
Not
you can watch the next movie.
Yeah, what's the next one? You'll be fine. But you do need, if you like, it's fine to want that, and it's even fine to like have that. But most things by nature aren't like even if most things are simple by nature, eventually you're gonna run into something that's instead of one way out, you have two ways. And
Life in general sucks. That's
yeah,
true.
the simplicity, I said it, simplicity of A New Hope is immediately like it is reasonable to me. It's the way they made it. That immediately before this is a spy mission about about that time that we had to get these plans. Spy missions aren't generally like good times.
No.
Like spy missions, a lot of times people are like killed.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are fooled. A lot of times
You know,
there's stuff
the
that
James Bond movies where he goes around fucking girls, and
yeah.
it's not. That's
The information gathering process is like usually like a pretty grimy business.
Yeah.
And I think like having the movie open with like a series of murders.
Yeah.
Like not even just like, oh no, the Empire is murdering people again. It's oh no, the rebel just killed that guy. Just straight iced that dude. Oh no. He iced his friend, I think, his informant, and then he's gonna ice that other guy. It's just this movie's like just a series of murders. And then and then a big battle at the end.
Yeah.
Which is unusual, but I think in context makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Actually, one of the things that I was going to talk about is that the rebels are ruthless.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Cassian kills Divic, and General Draven is like, you know what, kill Galen Erso. But he might not be that. We cannot risk it. You kill that motherfucker. I don't care what he.
It is inherently violent to be and not okay. I shouldn't say that. Little acts of rebellion can be nonviolent. To fight in a rebellion, is inherently violent. To be, and again, I think about a lot about like how like Star Wars relates to actual wars. The rebellion are like a band of they actively engage in guerrilla warfare. They're pirates, basically. Like they're this is like a very specific kind of warfare. They're not fighting on open plains. They're like hit and run tactics. This is like like that is inherently violent. You're watching
Star Wars Rebels. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, most of the missions are that like we have to get here, we have to disable that, we have to steal that, we have to sabotage that, and then run away.
It's like Scarif is a military base. Edu is like a military base, but they're like scientists there. Like Scarif is like a record. It's like a big library. Like it's not necessarily even like super well defended, and these guys just show up and start blowing stuff up. That's what the Scarif mission is. And I think that tone of like, I think that tone really does hit wrong with some people, and that's completely understandable if you want like to feel like the hero.
Yeah.
But just know, in a lot of contexts, you're not really. You're actually from like the Empire's point of view, even if you feel they are evil, you're the one that's kind of the problem a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you're the one coming here and blowing stuff up. Like,
these people.
I mean, I know we blew up a whole city, but I don't care.
It's a mining accident. Just like the framing of it, I think works. I love complexity.
All right.
David?
You know, one of the things I really like, and because I think it's just like really realistic, the bureaucracy inside the rebellion.
Okay.
Like, it would be like that. There are power struggles inside the rebellion. And Mon Mothma is like, guys, they are going to blow us up. We have to do something. And the other's like, but we are not prepared. Guy, it seems so simple from outside. Like, so you have two options. Do something and probably die, and do nothing and die.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
But the people there, they have the sense of, we are a democracy here as well.
Right.
Because that's what we are defending, and it makes sense. Kind of like the, I like to compare it to like the Hunger Games District 13 thing, where they are supposed to be like a super democracy thing, but they are just fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you cannot hold that forever if you are fighting a war.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
So, and I think that's why Mon Mothma ended up being the one that called the shots in the end.
yeah, I mean, there's cooler heads. Uh, we'd like to think cooler heads prevail, but like this is also like a military organization that's like there are only so many resources, and we don't have most of them.
Yeah,
Uh, so like if we're fighting this war, if we just wantonly send our ships out and they get blown up, which they
yeah,
probably will. Statistically, they get blown up more often than not. That's a problem. If we lose soldiers, that's also a problem. We only have so many of those too. Um, yeah, the allocation of resources would be like the rebellion's like top priority,
yeah.
and just this one random mission that probably isn't going to go anywhere. It's like really interesting to see how they figured out. I thought you were going to talk about General Draven, how he's just like, hey Cassian, you want to commit murders? And Cassian is like, you mean just kill him? And he's like, yes, those are your orders. And he's like, ooh, okay.
You can talk about it if you.
No, I mean that wasn't my point, but I thought that's where you were gonna go. But like, I do think that they have like different. Like Mon Mothma is like the political
Yeah.
idealist. Um, Draven seems to be like in charge of like the intelligence side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then Radis seems to be in charge of like the military side of things.
Rados is like the admiral. He's in charge of the navy, if you want to say. And then I think you have Dodona that's in charge of the.
Yeah,
ground.
I think that yeah, that's roughly what I was getting at. So like they're all in charge of like these different aspects of it. They've all like
Yeah, but
compartmentalized.
Mon Mothma is like the chief, kind of.
Yeah, when this is all over, she's the one that
Yeah.
that would be in some kind of in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. What?
Wow, this episode's going long, man.
They probably will. It's fine. Do you know who I love?
Hmm?
I love K2. I love K2.
You know? Okay.
I don't really have like a point to this. I
He's
just
funny.
love that they were like, we gotta have like a droid.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, what if we did C-3PO, but he was mean as fuck? What if he was super mean about everything? And nobody listened to him. No, nobody listening to him is important. No one ever listens to the droids. But what if he was super mean and right all of the time? Instead of C-3PO, who was overwhelmingly complaining and wrong all the time. We're never going to get out of this asteroid field. Sure we will. What makes you think we're not going to get out of this asteroid field? That's wild.
We have a problem with the horizon. There is no horizon.
Yeah. We have a problem. Yeah. It's high.
It's very
even
high.
just the scene where like Jin hands him like a bag, and he's like, the second she's out of frame, he goes. I think it's like a really funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He has personality. I don't care much about him.
I think he provides like levity in the right way. Because there were some in some instances, like a character similar to this would have been just funny, like the kind of funny that like somebody gets hit in the face with a cream pie, and they're like, "Haha!" Yeah. Like this is I think the main problem with Jar. It's not that Jar Jar isn't funny; it's that he's not funny for what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
like if like that's the problem with Jar Jar. With K2, it's like we're all gonna die soon. Here's someone that's going to tell us about it.
if you think about it, K2's introduction is with a joke.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations. You've been rescued. Please don't resist.
Yeah.
It's like very sarcastic, very quirky. And I think he knows he's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
So
his wires got crossed. No one, like, everyone thought it was funny, and he's like, okay. I'm right, though. I like it.
Yeah. All right. I already talked about there being extra. I want to talk. I think the power struggle inside the empire is very interesting
Oh, sure.
because
When you said the bureaucracy, I thought you were going to talk about
I
the
thought you were.
empire.
I thought you. I was going to talk about Draven.
Huh? I thought a lot of things.
Okay,
No, no.
no,
When you said the rebellion and then you went a different direction. When you said the bureaucracy, I thought you were going to talk about the empire.
I think it's very interesting to think that. Oh, I mean, in the they are the empire. It's going to be backstabbing.
Sure.
They are. I mean, everybody is power hungry. Everybody wants to get to the top, and we know
Sure.
Tarkin is ruthless. So it makes sense for Tarkin to take credit of something somebody else has done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And Krennic trying to going to Vader himself. That's a fucking ballsy move, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go to Vader. In fact, most Imperial officers don't want to see Vader because if they see Vader, it's like
Something's
80%.
gone horribly wrong if you're
Yeah,
talking to Vader. Yeah.
and there is like 80% chance you're getting choked out,
Yeah.
which Krennic actually
In that
gets.
sense, Tarkin is overwhelmingly lucky. Like
Yeah,
Tarkin is the only one that we've seen that's like Vader, don't don't choke that guy out. We need that guy. I think.
that guy in particular. You can choke out the other guy.
No, genuinely, I think it's really. This has nothing to do with anything. I think Vader can wantonly kill, but like there's like a certain rank. Like if you have a seat at the circle table, don't kill that guy, please. You can kill any just wantonly kill after that. Like we're out in the field, that guy died. Ooh, oh no. But like Vader, don't kill that guy. We're in the strategy meeting. What if that guy contributes? Uh, no, but yeah, Krennic is so middle management.
Yeah,
Like he
he
wants so desperately to be upper management, and he just
he
isn't.
has it rough. He has it rough.
Yeah. And so then he goes to the regional manager, the director of operations, and he's like, "That guy stole my work," and he's like, "All right,
And
stop bothering me."
you know the most interesting thing, and I'm going to geek out a little bit
Okay.
because in the Empire there is also like the Empire is like destinating resources and money to many different things.
Okay.
The Empire's funds aren't unlimited.
No.
In fact, there are a lot of like sciencey and technological projects uh, competing against each other.
Sure.
Mark Omega, Pax Aurora, all of those.
Yeah.
And the Death Star is one of them. And if it doesn't work, they cut the funding.
Yeah.
There is in Star Wars Rebels, Grand Admiral Thrawn is working on a prototype of a new TIE fighter that has shields and has hyperspace.
Hmm.
And it basically uh, destroys Rebel ships because one of the problems the Empire had was that X-Wings usually won against TIE fighters.
Sure.
And there is a moment where it says, if I don't see results, we are going to cut your funding because Krennic is being very pressing with his project Stardust. So there
Yeah.
is like that struggle there because I want fundings, then uh, there is a TIE fighter being built, then maybe there is a super Star Destroyer or like a super weapon somewhere
Yeah.
that's also being developed and they need fundings. And there is a power struggle in there in the Empire for funds and for positioning. And I think that's very, very, very interesting. And I wish we could see more of that. And I think we are seeing more of that in Andor with the
Yeah.
Imperial Security row.
No. Yeah. Yeah. The having them be like the more well built organization makes it mean that they're they just have more going on. Um, Meaning like this is the rebellion's one current plan. Like they found out about this one thing and they're like, I gotta deal with that. And then the whole movie happens. But like for the Empire, there's like a lot of different shows going on, and they're like, they're like they've got this like row of projects, and if one doesn't work out, okay, we'll just take your money and give it to this one.
Yeah.
And they're just like developing, they're developing super weapons just
Yeah, there is
line.
in Rebels there is like a weapon that they use to like bring ships out of hyperspace.
Yeah.
Which is also very interesting, and there is also funding, and then the Rebels blow it up, and they are like, beans.
Yeah. Well, that would have been cool. Okay, well, we'll move on to the next one.
Another one.
Yeah.
We keep building these things, and the Rebels keep blowing them up.
Gotta get better about hiding them. Yeah. Yes. We talked about Vader. Although, I guess we can talk more about Vader.
Okay, let's talk about Vader.
Vader shows up in this movie, and there's the one at the end, but in the middle, he's also there when Krennic goes to talk to him.
Yeah.
On his lava planet. The lava planet that he almost died in when he was a much younger man. And he...
Well... It symbolizes that it was when Darth Vader was truly born.
Okay. But he hangs out on this lava planet, not really doing much, just hanging out. Empire stuff.
Empire stuff.
I just like the concept of I can go petition Vader. He'll do something for me. Sure, and I don't know why Orson Krennic felt that way. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's true. Like, I'm sure if like Vader could go talk to Palps about it, but like, there's no chance he's going to. So you'll tell the Emperor about me.
And then he makes
there's a level that Krennic is at, and it's joking level.
And then he makes that joke because it's Vader.
Be careful not to joke. Honestly, I think that's a really good line. Be careful not to joke on your aspirations. And then he walks away going, got it.
Nailed it. Yeah. He's so extra.
He's so extra. But that is like the kind of joke that this movie needed. Like, the jokes in this movie are that dude just got choked out so hard. The jokes in this movie are Cassian got slapped just then by the droid. Are we going to talk about Cassian at some point during this?
I mean, do you want to? I don't find him that interesting.
I think giving him a show is such a weird move.
I don't think so, because that is
no. You haven't heard my reasoning.
No.
Giving him a show means that they thought correctly. I think they thought there was more meat on that bone.
Yep.
Of like, oh right, remember the time that we wrote a child soldier into Star Wars? And made him like a brutal murderer. Oh right, we should do something about that. Like that's a really interesting backstory for him.
Okay,
like and not just like I joined the rebellion because I thought there was nothing else. I thought there was nothing else that I could do with my life. Like this was the best thing I could think of doing. No, I joined when I was X years old because I thought I would be good at it, and it turns out I'm really good at killing people. That's what I'm good at. I'm great at murder. But he like he's unlike most characters in Star Wars that like aren't like he's a cold-blooded killer. He's aware of it. He hangs out with a bunch of cold-blooded killers, and they like go on missions to like they go on this final murder spree because they think it'll be like a genuinely good thing to do. Because, not gonna lie, if he didn't know Jyn Erso, he would have shot her dad. He would have shot Galen Erso and never thought about it again. He never would have thought about it. He met Jyn Erso and he was like, oh, we should shoot her dad. It'd be weird if I shot her dad. Maybe he has information. But at any other point in time, he would have just been like, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna kill that dude. Yeah, but there's a utility in that, I think, that Cassian serves.
In killing people? Yeah.
No, there's a utility in that, like, this isn't, and it goes back to, like, complexity. This isn't, like, a cut and dry issue. Like, this isn't, like, this isn't a good guy.
No.
He's not a heroic character. He knows the good guys, but
he's a soldier. Like, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that, Cassian, just really weird.
Well, before I go to my next point, I want to go like Mads Mikkelsen. Good job.
By the way, Ben Mendelsohn, good job.
Yeah, that's cool.
We haven't done the follow-up thing in a while.
The space battle above Scarif. I think it's a great concept of let's come here and see what we can do to help.
Sure.
Like, what's your mission? I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. It's such a weird concept. Like, we are going to fight and do what? They will tell us probably.
We'll fight anyway. We'll fight. It'll be fine.
And then the Hammerhead Corvette move is awesome because they use the ion torpedoes to disable the.
We're so used to the meeting in Star Wars. We're so used to the meeting
of them telling us, so this is what's going to happen exactly, and we are going to do it. It's going to apparently go wrong, but in the end, it's going to work out.
Yeah. We're so used to the meeting that genuinely just showing up being like, okay, all right, shield. Okay, they've got a shield. Okay, we've got to disable that. Okay. They're on the ground. We have to get the shield down. What if we hit it with something big? Just spitballing here. What if we hit it with something big? Disable that one. That one looks pretty big, and then make it. Yeah, perfect. Nailed it. Boom. Best admiral. It's the and I kind of almost count it like the battle below and the battle above are like kind of the same battle, but it's a different dynamic of these people are scrambling in a different way that these people are scrambling. They are scrambling on like an on the fly, like okay, that worked. Okay. Let's keep going. We gotta help out. We gotta.
The ones in the ground had a plan.
Yeah, the ones on the ground had a plan. The ones on floor are like, all right, when can we leave? the people on the ground are not leaving. The people in the air are waiting for their chance to leave.
Yeah.
They are trying to hit as much damage as they can before they get out.
Yeah. And that's my last point. Yours?
I like Jyn's speech.
Jyn's speech, okay.
I think Jyn is like a decent, maybe a bit underwritten. Apparently some of her stuff got cut out in editing. I don't think this movie is as like, people are like, this movie's so chopped, like this movie like got hacked to pieces. I don't think it did. I think the stuff that got cut out was the stuff like was a lot of Jyn stuff. I would have liked more of Jyn's personality coming in.
This is a rebellion. I rebel.
Yeah, I think that's like a line. Like no, I mean it in like not a good line, but I think it's a line of like, oh, y'all fuck shit up? Oh, I'm really good at that. Like that's what that's to me what that line means. It's like all right, I'm really good at what you guys do. I shouldn't be allowed to write a Star Wars movie. No. But like the Jyn speech, I think is actually like.
If I was allowed to write a Star Wars movie, I would put Mara Jade in, and I won't give a fuck.
I don't know. That's the end of the show. The end of the show should be us coming up with a Star Wars movie.
If they give me a Star Wars movie, I'll put Mara Jade in. Like
you're Sebastian Stan.
I will make her canon and I will make her and Luke canon some way. I don't know.
So Jin's speech, she's kind of huddled together with this group of people.
Yeah.
They've just stolen a small carrier. By the way, people think it's dumb how Rogue One, like the name, like the naming scene. When you name something, you don't think it's gonna be monumental. Grow up.
Yeah.
Like that's why they named them after colors. Like guys, they named them after colors for a reason. It's because they just needed to name it something.
Yep.
Grow up. So Jin's just like huddled together, and everyone's looking really bummed. They're like, most of them know they're gonna die. This is a group of like staunch murderers, most of them. They all know that they're doomed, and you have to tell them something. And so you say like, they don't know we're coming. They have no reason to be ready for this. Let's try one thing. If that works, we'll try the next thing. And then we keep going until we win or it stops working. Which is really all you can do. It's kind of... Yeah. It's like, in a weird way, the right thing to say.
Yeah, and a fighter with a sharp stick and nothing to lose can win the day.
Yeah. It's... I like it because to them, it's... Yeah. They don't... Like, we're not making it out of this, but like, we will do as much damage as we possibly can. This is going to be as chaotic a battlefield as it possibly can be. And it's
like,
we're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see how it goes.
Make 10 men look like 100.
Yeah,
that's.
I really like that.
This movie is full of one-liners.
Yeah, I really like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Some honorable mentions for me, I guess, would be like Saw Gerrera. I think he's like weird and funny.
Oh, look, it's Lyra back from the dead. It's a miracle.
Oh, look, it's Lyra back. Yeah. I don't know. Are there other honorable mentions, actually? There might have been. Did you already do yours?
Which one?
Actually, no. No, I don't have any more honorable mentions.
Yeah, I mean,
honorable mentions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm done. We're fine. I think it's a good...
Yeah, that's a good stopping point. What do you think is going to happen when Spielberg dies?
A lot. I mean, his movies are going to get a lot of watches, that's for sure.
What if we don't make any movies for a year after Spielberg dies?
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, close the thing. What are you doing? Alex, what are you tweeting? Alex, you have to close the show. Alex, stop it. Anyway, guys, this has been Let's Love Star Wars.
This has been Let's Love Star Wars. I'm about to send out a tweet that is going to get me banned from Twitter. Yeah, so from both of us, just to you, may the Force be with you always.
Yeah, because there is a hallway scene in this movie.
Oh yeah, always. May the Force be with you always.